Section G1A. Commission's Rules. Section G1A. General Class Control Operator Frequency Privileges, Primary and Secondary Allocations. Question: on which HF and/or MF amateur bands are there portions where general class licensees cannot transmit? The correct answer is C. 80 meters, 40 meters, 20 meters, and 15 meters. Question: on which of the following bands is phone operation prohibited? The correct answer is B. 30 meters. Question: on which of the following bands is image transmission prohibited? The correct answer is B. 30 meters. Question: which of the following amateur bands is restricted to communication only on specific channels rather than frequency ranges? The correct answer is D. 60 meters. Question: on which of the following frequencies are general class licensees prohibited from operating as control operator? The correct answer is A. 7. 125 MHz to 7. 175 MHz. Question: which of the following applies when the FCC rules designate the amateur service as a secondary user on a band? The correct answer is C. Amateur stations must not cause harmful interference to primary users and must accept interference from primary users. Question: on which amateur frequencies in the 10-meter band may stations with a general class control operator transmit CW emissions? The correct answer is D. The entire band. Question: which HF bands have segments exclusively allocated to amateur extra licensees? The correct answer is B. 80 meters, 40 meters, 20 meters, and 15 meters. Question: which of the following frequencies is within the general class portion of the 15-meter band? The correct answer is C. 21,300 kHz. Question: what portion of the 10-meter band is available for repeater use? The correct answer is D. The portion above 29.5 MHz. Question: when general class licensees are not permitted to use the entire voice portion of a band, which portion of the voice segment is available to them? The correct answer is B. The upper frequency portion. Section G1B. Antenna structure limitations, good engineering and good amateur practice, beacon operation, prohibited transmissions, retransmitting radio signals. Question: what is the maximum height above ground for an antenna structure not near a public use airport without requiring notification to the FAA and registration with the FCC? The correct answer is C. 200 feet. Question: with which of the following conditions must beacon stations comply? The correct answer is A. no more than one beacon station may transmit in the same band from the same station location. Question: which of the following is a purpose of a beacon station as identified in the FCC rules? The correct answer is A. observation of propagation and reception. Question: which of the following transmissions is permitted for all amateur stations? The correct answer is C. occasional retransmission of weather and propagation forecast information from U.S. government stations. Question: which of the following one-way transmissions are permitted? The correct answer is B. transmissions to assist with learning the International Morse code. Question: under what conditions are state and local governments permitted to regulate amateur radio antenna structures? The correct answer is D. amateur service communications must be reasonably accommodated, and regulations must constitute the minimum practical to accommodate a legitimate purpose of the state or local entity. Question: what are the restrictions on the use of abbreviations or procedural signals in the amateur service? The correct answer is B. they may be used if they do not obscure the meaning of a message. Question: when is it permissible to communicate with amateur stations in countries outside the areas administered by the Federal Communications Commission? The correct answer is B. when the contact is with amateurs in any country except those whose administrations have notified the ITU that they object to such communications. Question: on what HF frequencies are automatically controlled beacons permitted? The correct answer is D, 28. 20 MHz to 28. 30 MHz. Question: what is the power limit for beacon stations? The correct answer is C, 100 watts PEP output. Question: who or what determines good engineering and good amateur practice as applied to the operation of an amateur station in all respects not covered by the Part 97 rules? The correct answer is A, the FCC. Section G1C. Transmitter power regulations, data emission standards, 60-meter operation requirements. Question: what is the maximum transmitter power an amateur station may use on 10.140 MHz? The correct answer is A, 200 watts PEP output. Question: what is the maximum transmitter power an amateur station may use on the 12-meter band? The correct answer is C, 1500 watts PEP output. Question: what is the maximum bandwidth permitted by FCC rules for amateur radio stations transmitting on USB frequencies in the 60-meter band? The correct answer is A, 2.8 kHz. Question: which of the following is required by the FCC rules when operating in the 60-meter band? The correct answer is A. If you are using an antenna other than a dipole, you must keep a record of the gain of your antenna. Question: what is the limit for transmitter power on the 28 MHz band for a general class control operator? The correct answer is C, 1500 watts PEP output. Question: what is the limit for transmitter power on the 1.8 MHz band? The correct answer is D, 1500 watts PEP output. Question: what must be done before using a new digital protocol on the air? The correct answer is C. Publicly document the technical characteristics of the protocol. Question: what is the maximum power limit on the 60-meter band? The correct answer is C. ERP of 100 watts PEP with respect to a dipole. Question: what measurement is specified by FCC rules that regulate maximum power? The correct answer is D. PEP output from the transmitter. Section G1D. Volunteer examiners and volunteer examiner coordinators. Temporary identification, element credit, remote operation. Question: who may receive partial credit for the elements represented by an expired amateur radio license? The correct answer is A. any person who can demonstrate that they once held an FCC-issued general, advanced, or amateur extra class license that was not revoked by the FCC. Question: what license examinations may you administer as an accredited volunteer examiner holding a general class operator license? The correct answer is C. technician only. Question: on which of the following band segments may you operate if you are a technician class operator and have an unexpired certificate of successful completion of examination, CSC, for general class privileges? The correct answer is C. on any general or technician class band segment. Question: who must observe the administration of a technician class license examination? The correct answer is A. at least 3 volunteer examiners of general class or higher. Question: when operating a U.S. station by remote control from outside the country, what license is required of the control operator? The correct answer is A. a U.S. operator/primary station license. Question: until an upgrade to general class is shown in the FCC database, when must a technician licensee identify with AG after their call sign? The correct answer is A. whenever they operate using general class frequency privileges. Question: volunteer examiners are accredited by what organization? The correct answer is C. a volunteer examiner coordinator. Question: Which of the following criteria must be met for a non-U.S. citizen to be an accredited volunteer examiner? The correct answer is B. The person must hold an FCC-granted amateur radio license of general class or above. Question: how long is a Certificate of Successful Completion of Examination, CSC, valid for exam element credit? The correct answer is C. 365 days. Question: what is the minimum age that one must be to qualify as an accredited volunteer examiner? The correct answer is B. 18 years. Question: what action is required to obtain a new general class license after a previously held license has expired and the 2-year grace period is passed? The correct answer is D. The applicant must show proof of the appropriate expired license grant and pass the current Element 2 exam. Section G1E. Control categories, repeater regulations, third-party rules, ITU regions, automatically controlled digital station. Question: which of the following would disqualify a third party from participating in sending a message via an amateur station? The correct answer is A. The third party's amateur license has been revoked and not reinstated. Question: when may a 10-meter repeater retransmit the 2-meter signal from a station that has a technician class control operator? The correct answer is D. Only if the 10-meter repeater control operator holds at least a general class license. Question: what is required to conduct communications with a digital station operating under automatic control outside the automatic control band segments? The correct answer is A. The station initiating the contact must be under local or remote control. Question: which of the following conditions require a licensed amateur radio operator to take specific steps to avoid harmful interference to other users or facilities? The correct answer is D. All these choices are correct. Question: what are the restrictions on messages sent to a third party in a country with which there is a third-party agreement? The correct answer is C. They must relate to amateur radio, or remarks of a personal character, or messages relating to emergencies or disaster relief. Question: the frequency allocations of which ITU region apply to radio amateurs operating in North and South America? The correct answer is C. Region 2. Question: in what part of the 2.4 GHz band may an amateur station communicate with non-licensed Wi-Fi stations? The correct answer is D. No part. Question: what is the maximum PEP output allowed for spread spectrum transmissions? The correct answer is B. 10 watts. Question: why should an amateur operator normally avoid transmitting on 14.100, 18.110, 21.150, 24.930, and 28.200 MHz? The correct answer is A. A system of propagation beacon stations operates on those frequencies. Question: on what bands may automatically controlled stations transmitting RTTY or data emissions communicate with other automatically controlled digital stations? The correct answer is D. Anywhere in the 6-meter or shorter wavelength bands, and in limited segments of some of the HF bands.